Shalom, family. I'm glad to see you all here. Before I get started, I just want everybody to please keep Kim. Also, you know her as True Royal, and her husband, Omari. He is going into surgery to have his kidney removed this morning. So please keep them in your prayers. You know, she is going through a really rough time right now. And she's not even quite over her own health problems. So it's a very tough time. So please remember them in your prayer. I am praying for them. I know this is very difficult. They said he's going to be in the OR probably for up to 4 hours. So I just pray that it goes well. And once the kidney is gone, the cancer is gone. That's what I'm praying for. So, everybody, we're going to talk about Joe Biden. Joe Biden suddenly has jumped up, and this is what I said was going to happen, and shut the border down. It's an election year. And you got to look at the timing of this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen. It was just a few days ago, Trump was found guilty on all 34 charges. And they said he's in shock. This thing has really shaken him. And I know it did. You know, you're talking about a man that is used to getting away with everything. Okay. And now he's being held accountable at age, what, 78? He's finally being held accountable for what he's done. So, yeah, I guess he is shocked. And it seems like the MAGA crowd, they're even more shocked. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the sudden change. And all of a sudden, right after Trump's indictment, Biden wants to temporarily shut down the border. See, this man is doing this for votes. He's doing it for votes, y'all. He's not doing it for any other reason. This is for votes. Our people have been asking them to do something about that border now for the last few years, and he didn't move until it suited him to do so. So I guess he figured he'll kick Trump while he's down. He'll do something about the border. But trust me, don't trust what Joe Biden is doing. That's why it's called temporary. He's going to open those borders back up as soon as he gets exactly what he wants. Okay? As soon as he gets what he wants, the border is going to be wide open again. All right. Let me go ahead and see if I can share my screen. Yeah. So, why is he doing it? It's an election year, you know, and he now all of a sudden wants to dramatically make policy changes. And he also is anticipating a legal challenge on this from the ACLU. So, how did he do this? He did it by executive order on Tuesday. The executive order says it will prevent migrants from seeking asylum at the US Mexico border when crossing surge and a dramatic election year move to ease pressure on the immigration system and address a major concern among voters. Yes, see, Biden has been on the campaign trail. On the campaign trail, people are telling him they don't like this immigration situation. They don't like it. So he is willing to temporarily do something about it. So the measure is the most restrictive border policy instituted by Mr. Biden or any other moderate Democrat, and echoes an effort in 2018 by President Donald J. Trump to cut migration that was blocked in federal court. So Biden is also anticipating that this is going to go to court. So, in recent remarks at the White House, Mr. Biden said he was forced to take executive action because Republicans had blocked bipartisan legislation that had some of the most significant border security restrictions Congress had considered in years. We must face a simple truth, the president said. We was joined by a group of lawmakers and mayors from the border communities to protect America as a land that welcomes immigrants. We must first secure the border and secure it now. Now, isn't that amazing? He did this by executive order. One stroke of the pen, and the borders are now closed. Why can't he do one stroke of a pen and get our reparations? That's what you need to stroke your pen over. So, anyway, aware that the policy raised uncomfortable comparisons, Mr. Biden took pains and distinguish his actions from those of Mr. Trump. We continue to work closely with our Mexican neighbors instead of attacking them, Biden said. He said that he would never refer to immigrants as poisoning the blood of the country, as Mr. Trump has done. Well, what's wrong with what he said is the truth. I think what adds insult to injury for me about the immigrants, y'all, is these lowlives have the nerve to come to the border, cross the border, and before they even get on the soil, they're already calling Black Americans are lazy. Oh, they really, these people from South America and Africa and the islands, they're on that heavy. They're on it heavy, y'all. They come across this border already. They haven't even done any work in the country themselves, but they're coming over those borders calling us lazy. They don't even realize if it wasn't for us and the fight that we took up during the civil rights movement, they wouldn't even be able to bring their brown behind over here. They didn't want them. None of the countries they come out of were preferred to these Europeans over here. But that's the first thing out of their mouth is attacking us and calling us lazy. I think I resent that more than anything else. And I don't blame our people for coming together and saying they don't want these folks here. Now, it's one thing if you cross the border, you're really looking for work, you keep your mouth shut and you just stay focused on looking for work. But when you come over and you insult us, I don't have no empathy for you at that point. I have none. If you're so good at everything, then why don't you stay in them little dusty ass countries you come out of? What you coming over here for? Stay over there in your country and fix it. So since you so good at everything, now you ain't good at nothing. That's why you're dragging your butt here. So anyway, still the move shows how dramatically the politics of immigration have shifted to the right in the US. Polls suggest there is support in both parties for border measures once denounced by Democrats and championed by Mr. Trump, as the number of people crossing into the country have reached record levels in recent years. Mr. Biden's executive action was set to go into effect at 12:01 a.m. on Wednesday, which is today, at which point border officers could return migrants across the border into Mexico and to their home countries within hours or days. The ACLU said it planned to challenge the executive action in court. The administration has left us little choice but to sue. Okay, so ACLU never been impressed with you, never. Which led the charge against the Trump administration attempt to block asylum in 2018, and it resulted in the policy being stopped by federal courts. It was unlawful under Trump and is no less illegal now. Assuming it survives legal challenges, the policy kicks in once the 7-day average for the illegal crossing hits 2,500. So 2,500 can still come into the country, and that's the cutoff. That's the cutoff. A regular occurrence now. The border would reopen only after the figure drops to 1,500 for 7 days in a row and stays that way for 2 weeks. That is a significant shift in how asylum has worked for years. Now, Joe Biden, they turned down a bunch of asylum seekers just a few days ago. I saw something in the news where they had turned down thousands of applicants seeking asylum. Okay, so migrants who cross illegally claim asylums are released into the US and no wait for court appearances where they can plead their case, but a huge backlog means those cases can take years to come up. The new system is designed to deter those illegal crossings. Well, Joe Biden never spoke like he wanted to deter anything. He spoke like a person that was more than happy to open up those borders because, see, these folks got in their heads, they done cooked up in their heads that the immigrants is the answer to their low birth rate. So that's why, if you notice, it was never a lot of pushback. And I've said this before in the past, you don't really hear either side putting up a big fight about these folks coming across the border, because at the end of the day, it don't matter if you are one of them folks and a Democrat or one of them folks and a Republican. The birth rate is low on both sides, so it don't matter. So no, they're not that deeply opposed. And you see, they're not even upset that it's called a temporary border closing. You know, if they were really about something, wouldn't they make it permanent? No, because see, both sides want these people here because they suck at trying to have babies, and they can't fix it. So immigrants is their answer. And we know that ain't no real answer, but these fools believe it is. So anyway, for the most part, the order suspends long-time guarantees that gives anyone who steps into the US soil the right to seek a safe haven. That's another thing. Sanctuary cities, sanctuary counties, sanctuary states. And the whole 400 years, y'all, we haven't had not 1 ounce of sanctuary. I was one of the first people to bring that out a couple of years ago when they were calling it sanctuary cities. I was like, okay, well, where's ours? We've been terrorized in this country for centuries. Where's ours? And then other people start jumping on that bandwagon after I said it first. And let me tell you something. They still got that protection. A few counties away from where I am, they're a sanctuary county. And you can best believe the migrants are doing the same thing they're doing in New York. They're committing all kinds of crimes. They're getting arrested. They get released. It just keeps happening over and over. They keep getting arrested. They keep getting released. And it's a sanctuary over in that part of my state that offers a sanctuary town for them. So, of course, they're losing their minds and committing all kinds of crime, and nothing is being done. And they don't care. They don't care. Browser lost connection. Well, what's new? What's new? Can y'all all hear me? Give me a one if you can hear me. Please give me a one if you can hear me. All right. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, so they got a little sanctuary town over here, not far from where I am. And it's the same thing every day. They're in the local news committing all kinds of crime, and they just keep going through the same pattern of arresting them and then releasing them and then arresting them and then releasing them. It's just downright laughable. It is downright laughable. But Joe Biden, I am not impressed. I am not impressed, because as soon as if he wins, if he wins, those borders are going to fly back open immediately. And you think the people coming in here is bad now? If this man wins another term, it may quadruple at that border or even beyond that. And he's not going to care. He didn't hear us the first time. You can best believe he won't hear you again either. As long as it's our people impacted, nobody will ever care. They will never ever care. Mhm. Well, it can go either way. I hear a lot of, I don't hear, I can't even say it's a lot. Some of our people are going to vote for Donald Trump, but it can go either way, y'all. It can go either way, because there's a lot of people right now hating on Donald Trump. And we know there's many in our community that can't stand Joe Biden. At this point, it can go either way. And the reason why I'm saying that is, look, they're not offering nothing. What is Joe Biden or Trump offering the black community? They're not offering nothing. So we shall see. Yeah, couch 2024. I see that a lot. Hmm. But, this little gesture that Joe Biden is doing is a bunch of nothing as far as I'm concerned. It's a bunch of nothing, y'all. This is a self serving act. That's all this is. And I don't trust him. I never trusted Joe Biden, even when he was a senator. I don't trust this man. There is nothing he could tell me that I would believe him or trust him at all. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. We'll definitely do this again on a different topic. And those of you that were not in here when I opened, the True Royal family, her husband, is having his cancerous kidney removed. He's going to be in surgery, and they said it could take about 4 hours for them to remove his cancerous kidney. So I'm asking all of you, please keep her and her husband, Omari, in prayer. Omari is her husband, and, just pray for them. Please pray for them. So, everybody, please enjoy the rest of your day. Yes. Please enjoy. Let me see. Somebody did give a donation. The Only Lioness, thank you so much. Thank you for covering this. Thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Shalom, family.